What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Whyel'd in the Streets. Today I have some very special guests with me. I've got the band Sad Park. What's up, guys?
Woo! What's going on?
Yes, it's officially a party right now. So, I mean, go ahead. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yes, we do. I'm Graham. I'm the lead singer and guitar player in Sad Park.
What's up? I'm Grant. I play the drum set in Sad Park.
What's up? I'm Kyle. I play the other guitar.
And I'm Sam, the bassman of the band.
In what band, though? In Sad Park?
The one and only Sad Park.
Well, thanks for being here, guys. I'm stoked.
You.
This is gonna be.
Thanks.
This is gonna be a good. Of course. I was stoked that we could make this happen. Obviously, as a quick little history lesson, I met you guys through a buddy of mine, Chad, who I had on a previous podcast. He invited me out to a show at the Moroccan Lounge, and it was you guys, High Curbs, Deathlens, and then there was
Super Lunch.
And Super Lunch. And hands down, this was the best band there for the night. No offense to the other guys. They're all great, but you guys were on one that night. It sounded so crispy. I was blown away. And at one point, I was talking to my girlfriend. I was like, yo, because we were standing right next behind the sound engineer. And I was like, oh, like the sound engineer's like really good. I was like, I don't expect that for like small venues like this. He's like, usually everything sounds like shit. I was like, oh, so the engineer's super good. And then the next band went on, and I was like, okay, wait, no, it's not the engineer. I think the band just generally knows how to play really well. And so it was great, guys. I mean, since that day, I became a fan.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
And yeah, that was a great show, guys. How were you guys feeling that day?
It was pretty wild. I think that's the first time we've ever left to get lunch and just seen a line of people trying to get in. So there's definitely some energy going into that we've never had before.
And you guys you've been gigging around for a bit though now, right?
Yeah, we've been. I think we've been a band since 2015, so we've been playing for a while.
Dope.
But that show is insane.
Yeah, that show felt very real.
It was real.
A lot of cool shows, but it was. Yeah, it's the line out front, packed house. I thought, we played well too, and the energy was just awesome.
Yeah, it was great. So next year Lollapalooza, or what's the plan?
Yeah, that's it. Next year, headlining Glastonbury. That's it.
Yeah.
That's less real. That's more like a dream,
In time, I believe. I'm a firm believer. Well, so not only did that... that show was... Oh gosh, a couple months ago. It wasn't that long ago.
January 26th.
Okay. And now you guys just put out a new single.
We did.
It's amazing.
Thank
you guys played that live, right?
I think we played it at that show.
Okay.
We did. We definitely did.
That was when we made our call of we should only have one or two new songs that we ever play live off the new record. That was the one that we've decided, right?
Yeah.
I think that was around the time we swapped that to be the single too. It was originally a different song, but I think that was the better call.
Nice. Yeah, I remember because when I heard it, I was like, okay, this sounds familiar. And you guys, gosh, how many songs did you guys play? What was on the set list that night? There was
man.
Sam, remember it off the top of your head?
Sam might have it.
What was it?
The set list man of the band. We usually play 10, I think it was 10 songs that we played. Yeah. We opened with
the
first song on the album, which we really, other than a house show, haven't played really anywhere else either. So that was fun to open up with that because, we really have tried to... We've had all these new songs on the new album as a band done for a while, but we've been struggling. It's hard, but we've been not wanting to play really more than one or two live and keep it a secret, you know, when that one comes out. That was cool. We got to do that at that show also.
So I mean, so you guys, I mean, it's weird coming from like my area, my scene in electronic music, where as soon as someone like finishes even like a demo, it's on Instagram, it's on Twitter, and when they're playing shows, it's completely played out. It's like, look at all this new shit I got. And you guys are very selective, like, oh, not too soon, hold off, wait. I mean, that's super dope. I mean, I've never really heard that, you know, at least just coming from my scene. That's everyone likes to flaunt all their shit.
I feel like it's for a couple of reasons. Like the first one is just like definitely when the album comes out, like you're saying, we kind of want to like let a lot of it be a surprise. We might have played a couple of the other new songs like one time, a couple places. But for me, I like not playing them live because it gives the songs more time to like simmer. You know what I mean? Even if you have like the concept, the idea of the song really down, like we're always tweaking our parts, even like 5 or 6 months after the song has been like finished, as well as just like getting really tight on it. So that's because we've played some songs that were like new and we've played them live and they like didn't sound good because we weren't good enough at them yet.
So do you guys rent out like a practice space? Are you just garage banding it, or like how does it work when you guys are practicing parts?
We've always garaged it, but yeah, recently me and Kyle live together. We're in separate rooms as we speak right now, but we've been we've been garaging it at our house for a while.
Excuse me, I live with you, quote unquote, live with you guys.
He just abandoned us as soon as he could.
With the coronavirus shit going on, my dad was like, "You need to move back in with us." So I'm at my parents' house right now.
I mean, that's dope, then.
But for the past year and a half, I've been living with Kyle and Sam.
Nice.
So
we did recently just start having police troubles though after about a year and a half, 2 years. So
it's weird because it'd been like a couple weeks since the last time we practiced, but all of a sudden, like one of our neighbors just like left a note on our door, and then like a couple days later, the cops showed up and we're just like, "You kids,
you little whippersnappers, turn that damn music down."
Troubles of a band, yeah. But you know, now we'll just move probably to Graham's garage, another garage.
That's dope.
Garage to garage.
I in my podcast with Chad, we were talking about how where we grew up, kind of in the Inland Empire, specifically kind of our town, that like garage bands and stuff, like it wasn't really a thing. We weren't really in like a creative environment where people kind of like aspired to like want to be a musician or want to start a band.
What town are you guys from?
Eastvale or Corona. Or
that makes sense. I know those towns.
Yeah. it's very sportsy, you know, and I'm sure there's lots of places like that where it's like, oh yeah, you do sports and people like look up to sports players. And so, you know, you go out to LA where it's like, it's very much a thing. You start a band, there's bands fucking everywhere, you know.
It's fucking crazy how many bands there are in LA.
You know, I will say though, it's always surprising. Like when we went out to Hesperia the first time, we were like, damn, we don't really know what to expect. You know what I mean? I think, Sam, that first show we played, were you in the band yet, or was that just me and Graham?
I came the show after.
I just remember being like, oh, you know, Hesperia, kind of like high desert kind of place, you know, probably big on like sports, not a lot of like music scene going on. And that show, it was like a house show, and it was just like packed with people, and they were going crazy, and it was just like this really cool, and all the bands that we played with were like good. Like there were some really, really good bands out there. So it is interesting how like there are these little bastions of like, you know, not a lot of music going on, but the music that is going on is like good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because people want to get out of there and go do their music somewhere else, I think.
So are you guys all LA based?
We're all
now, yeah.
I mean, we're all Valley based, really.
Okay.
We just play in
LA County.
Yeah. For sure. Well, that's dope. I mean, like I said, the music's sick. You guys got the singles out. Single sounds great. Album's coming out. Are you give me a taste of what to expect with the album?
I think like we did a live stream on Instagram recently, and me and Grant talked about this, where like I feel like the single is honestly not a very good, I mean, it's a good song, but it's not a good representation of what the actual album is going to sound like. I think we kind of wanted to move out of the direction of like okay, let's just try and write like really like catchy songs that like a bunch of kids in like a tiny scene will enjoy. And instead, I think we were really kind of trying to challenge ourselves to write just the best music we can, in terms of like someone's not going to hear it and be like, oh, it's this tiny band from the Valley that writes like decent music. I wanted kind of anyone to hear it and be like, oh, this could be a band at any level in like their career trying to write this music.
For sure. How many songs is the album?
It's 13.
I'm going to say 13 with an asterisk.
it's 12 songs.
12.5.
Like full
12
songs.
songs and an interlude.
Okay.
Really.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I've seen people, I've talked to like DJs and stuff, especially because the whole like interlude and stuff, it's funny how when I've, crossed different scenes or different genres, and people like, at least in like the electronic world, and not to sound like I'm shit talking, but they'll be like, yo, this thing where like you can do like an intro, but it's like on the album, but it's like a song, and like then you can have those between each song, and it's just like, yeah, dude, like it's been done. Like this isn't some new concept. And they're like, yeah, but like I'm gonna do an album, and it's gonna be like, 20 tracks. It's like, okay, but 10 of them are songs, and the other 20 are these little like interlude things. Yeah, dude, but it's like a story. I'm telling you a story. It's like, cool. Hey, yeah, like I'm all for it, but you didn't come up with this idea. This has been done. So that's funny. That's great. I mean, I'm into it.
Next album, we should do skits. Get some skits in there.
Skits. You don't see those anymore.
90s rap style.
The second EP that we ever released, it's only like 7 songs, but we straight up recorded. I wonder if those are still out. We recorded skits for all of them. We recorded like skits in between every song. Then we were like, maybe we shouldn't put this out. So we never released them. But they're out there somewhere.
That's got to be up. That's got to be like some demo tape shit you throw on Spotify one day. And it's like, fuck it. Here's just the skits. No songs, just skits.
I'm all down for that.
Just the skits.
That's great. Yeah, skits, dude. Those are a lost art form.
Right?
Last time I heard it was like the Kendrick Lamar album that he put out not too long ago, or like a couple years ago.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the last album I listened to is skits.
Mine would just have to be like the Tenacious D albums.
Those are great.
But they're like, that's like borderline comedy music.
Yeah.
So it's like,
no.
Every song's a skit.
Because they did have like those in between parts where like nobody is playing, and they're just setting up like these scenarios.
Are you guys fans of Pick of Destiny?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that movie. That was. I was talking to a buddy of mine. We were talking about School of Rock, and I was like, "Yeah, dude, School of Rock single-handedly like shaped my life." And they're like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Dude, like that movie just pushed me in the direction of like making music."
That's awesome.
I think that movie has influenced like probably our whole generation of musicians.
For sure.
Like I definitely saw that movie when I was like in elementary school, I think. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but
I had to have been out of elementary school. I don't know. Maybe junior high. I don't remember. Good movie though. Jack Black. He's my hero.
iCarly was in it. What's her name?
Miranda Cosgrove.
Yeah, she was in it.
Dude, I saw her at Disneyland one day, and it was like
she working at Disneyland, or was
she was just there with like. It had to have been like a cousin or a niece or nephew or someone. It was just her, and then like this maybe like 6-year-old, 7-year-old. I don't know if a boy or girl with her, and it was just them two. No security, no nothing. She was just walking around, and I looked at my girlfriend. I was like, "Yo, like, is that iCarly?" And she's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Fucking iCarly!" Like we all watched it, and we looked, and she's like, "Yeah, I think it is," but she was so like skinny and like pale. I was like, dude, like this is what people look like when they're fucking like cracked out. And I was like, I hope fucking iCarly is not cracked out. But she was just at Disneyland fucking living it up.
You're overworking Miranda Cosgrove. Save Miranda Cosgrove.
I feel like that's the best type of celebrity to be though. Like
the cracked out ones?
No. There's like a certain level of celebrity like where like if you go to here's a perfect example. Like the people from Rooster Teeth, right? If you know that website, they have like their own convention. And at that convention, they're like the biggest celebrities in the fucking world. You know what I mean? And so like, you know, a weekend a year they get to be like Tom Cruise status. But they can still like go to Disneyland by themselves and not get swamped with people. You know what I mean?
Say iCarly is definitely leagues and leagues more famous than the guys at Rooster Teeth.
I get it. But she wasn't getting, she didn't have to go to Disneyland with like a security person.
I'm sure she got a lot of people.
I mean, back in the day, she definitely would have.
Yeah, but I feel like at this point, like iCarly's been off the air for like 10 years or something ridiculous at this point.
Rest in peace.
So it's like,
yeah, but what if you're telling me you see Drake and Josh down the street and you're like, those guys, wow.
Okay. Josh is still famous.
Okay, so who's the biggest like Nickelodeon star there is then?
Nickelodeon star?
The dude who created Avatar: The Last Airbender.
No, I honestly think it would have to be like Drake and Josh. I feel like they're
Drake and Josh over iCarly?
I
feel like they're
Josh.
the most.
If we're gonna be honest, it has to be Kenan Thompson.
Oh yeah.
Totally.
I forgot about him.
Because Josh played at the country club near where me, Sam, and Grant grew up, and like nobody went.
Drake.
Drake's musician.
Not Josh.
Josh has been in all the David Dobrik vlogs and everything, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Who is that guy? Who is he? Is he just a YouTuber?
Yeah.
He was really popular on Vine, and now he's really big, and he buys all of his friends like expensive Teslas. And everyone, I think, makes the joke of like, I follow people that follow him, so my Instagram gets like recommended like fan Instagrams, and it's funny because all of them, like most fan Instagrams, are like oh, like during the quarantine, like I hope he's safe, like they like care for the person, but all of his fan Instagrams are people just being like, I want him to buy me a car.
They're just there for the fucking cars.
They just want to be friends with him.
Like gold digging fans.
He might now be the most famous. Speaking of the most famous Nickelodeon star, like he's not like truly Nickelodeon, but he was like the Kids' Choice Awards host.
Oh, really?
Like, dude, Nick Age children love him.
We're entering dangerous territory.
David Dobrik?
Dobrik's fans are going to start coming after us.
This podcast is going to get fucking canceled. Hashtag cancel it.
I actually like. I don't like. You know. I don't watch David Dobrik, but he's a very like wholesome celebrity. I feel like he just smiles.
You're a fan.
We're
what else do you want?
Oh, that's great. Okay, so here's a question.
Could you imagine?
Here's a question. Out of the big three, Disney, Nickelodeon, and Cartoon Network.
Oh yeah.
What was your network?
Nickelodeon.
No, Cartoon Network was my shit, dude.
See, because I was a Cartoon Network kid, hands down.
I loved Courage the Cowardly Dog, and I know a lot of people hated on like Camp Lazlo and stuff, but I grew up watching that. It had Chowder.
That was like the second generation where all those ones.
Yeah,
they weren't bad. The stuff now is probably god awful though.
I liked both. But I like Nickelodeon because it had better like dramatic shows up until Adventure Time and regular show started being on Cartoon Network. Because Nickelodeon had like Danny Phantom, which was sick. It had Avatar: The Last Airbender.
What about Teen Titans?
Show of all time.
Teen Titans was so good.
That's a really good argument.
I don't know.
I forgot about that.
What?
Right.
Yeah.
What?
I was more of like
Nickelodeon had fucking SpongeBob.
I mean,
Okay,
that was my turning point. Was like SpongeBob.
Exactly.
That's all they really had for me. I mean, but so Cat Dog, that was Nickelodeon, right?
Was that Nickelodeon?
Stimpy was also Nickelodeon.
Yeah. So I feel like Nickelodeon had the most like long-lasting impact on me just from SpongeBob. But at the time, Cartoon Network went harder.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I was like Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, fucking Cow and Chicken.
I feel like
all that shit.
What we can agree upon is that Disney sucked.
Yeah.
Like Disney Channel.
Oh, growing up, Disney was not.
But Disney Channel movies were pretty flame.
Okay, yeah, Disney Channel
Johnny
movies
Tsunami?
were the shit.
Johnny Tsunami, fucking.
Art House.
What was the one Disney released one where it was like my mom's dating a vampire or some shit like that?
Yeah.
I forget what that movie was called. That movie
I'm sorry. Halloween Town 1, 2, and 3.
my god!
Halloween Town it's a stone cold classic in my book.
It is. It truly is.
Me and Grant watched Big Fat Liar not that long ago. I forgot how good that movie is.
It's legitimate, like unironically, a pretty funny movie.
Extremely enjoyable.
And Taron
Killam
from Saturday Night Live is in it.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's this Frankie Muniz, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they film when they run around fucking Universal Studios. I always thought it was the coolest thing. And then when I would my parents would take me to Universal Studios and you do the tour and it's like, they were here. They ran through this. And I was so fucking stoked. Not because of the movies or whatever they filmed here, just because I saw it in fucking Big Fat Liar.
Awesome.
That's a
they
classic.
do the water deluge.
Yeah.
Knock them over.
Gosh.
That movie's great.
Good one.
Yeah.
Are you guys Avengers fans?
I am.
What fans? Avengers?
Yeah.
No.
I've seen 2 superhero movies. I went anti-superhero movies once they remade Spider-Man.
Okay.
Tobey Maguire or no one.
Tobey Maguire. Okay.
Yeah, dude, emo Tobey Maguire or no one. I'm with that.
Yeah.
I'm for that.
Spider-Man 3 is terrible.
Wow.
Spider-Man 1 and 2 were really good.
Spider-Man 1 is showing its age, if we can be honest. Spider-Man 2
The soundtrack, though. You can't deny the
Spider-Man
soundtrack.
2 is so good. Fucking the dude who plays Doc Ock made me shit my pants when I was a kid.
So wait, what was the third one then? Because the first one was Green Goblin.
It was Sandman. It was like...
Sandman? Who the fuck is Sandman?
He's the sand guy.
He's made out of sand.
Makes his hand a hammer.
I thought the first one was Green Goblin.
Yeah, first one, Green Goblin. Second one, Doc Ock. And then the third one, they just went all out. It was like Venom and the Sandman and also the new Green Goblin that James Franco played.
Oh, okay. I still don't remember fucking Sandman, but...
Too many villains.
I think you guys are just making up villains at this point.
We are.
Sandman, Iceman.
Yeah.
It's just Mega Man at this point. It's all...
Tobey Maguire was just too old to watch him have this emo breakdown out of nowhere.
Don't Tobey Maguire.
It's never too old to have an emo breakdown. That's
emo Tobey Maguire looked like a dad who went through his son's stuff and saw that he was super into Sleeping with Sirens or something, and was like, I have to connect with my kid.
The best part of that movie was they were just we got to show that he's just going through it. So all they did was just do the Hot Topic over the eye.
That was the go-to
and
mood
you were
changer.
supposed to be oh, he's going through it now.
Yeah, it's literally Sam Raimi was what are the kids like? And he went to a mall and saw Hot Topic, and he was like, that's it. Script has written itself.
Oh my gosh.
He was just one studded dog collar.
Yeah. Gosh. Did you have those with studded belts or bracelets? I had at least I had a bracelet and a belt.
Oh, I did. I had a spike belt.
Yeah. So. Did you ever Sharpie the studs so you had different colors?
Oh no, I didn't do that.
See.
No game, Graham.
Yeah, no game. The emos would be disappointed.
Where's your bullet belt, Sam?
I say next show you guys just do a full fashion makeover.
So
dude, I went to high school. I went to high school with a kid who knew how to make his. Dude, you know what? I went to school with someone. That's the end of my story.
Sick, dude.
No, I went to school with this kid who found out how to put his own spikes and studs in his jacket. And one time I went up to him to hug him because he was like, "Nah, they're all dull. They're all dull." But the day before that, he sharpened them all, and I hugged him, and he literally pierced my entire arm open, and I had to go to the nurse. And they were like, "How did this happen?" I was like, "I hugged that kid, Matt."
Love hurts. You should just walk in there and said, "Love hurts."
Yeah, that's what I said. That's my story. I got pierced by a dude in all spiked leather jacket.
I never had the pointy ones. I just had the round pyramid ones. But I used to do my own stuff. I remember I had a blue fox hat and I put them in there.
Hell yeah.
Classic. Good times.
Hell yeah.
There's a lot of fashion decisions I regret as a kid.
What is the most embarrassing piece of clothing you ever wore that you thought was a good idea?
So when I was in high school, my freshman year, my parents never let me grow my hair out when I was growing up. And when I got to high school, for some reason, it was okay. And so I started growing my hair out. So mind you, I'm 4'10". I didn't grow until I was a fucking senior. I'm a 4'10" little shit. And I played water polo. And so I became pretty tan, and then my hair like got like bleach blonde. And so I look like some sort of like fucking little gnome looking tan troll with bleach blonde hair. And for some reason in high school, I thought headbands, like I was so rebellious. I was like, I'm going to fucking wear headbands.
Oh my God.
And I went to like fucking Claire's or something, bought a pack of like colored little headbands and would like comb my hair over and then put a headband. And at the school I went to, the first like, or maybe it was the whole time, you weren't allowed to wear hats that weren't like school hats. Like unless you bought like the school's merch hats, you weren't allowed to wear hats.
Dude, that's fucking whack, dog.
And so security came up to me and they're like, yo, you gotta take the headband off. I was like, it's not a fucking hat. And they're like, I'm just, it's the rules. I was like, then you can go, send me to the fucking principal and I'll tell him it's not a hat or whatever. And so I like rocked these fucking whatever headbands for probably a solid year. And there's pictures still floating around that I have like on Facebook of like friends that's like 10 years later. They're like, look at this. And it's me with like a fucking little headband. I was like, damn it, And I remember my water polo coach at the time, his wife, who like coached the JV team, she walked up to me one day. She's like, why are you wearing a headband? I was like, because it's cool. No one's wearing them. And she's like, you're going to regret this one day. She's like, you're going to look back and be like, this was stupid. And I was like, you know what you're talking about. And I remember that conversation like to a T. And sure enough, I look back at these pictures and I go, fuck me, man.
That always happens.
Yeah.
You always look back at like your parents' yearbook stuff and they're like, it was cool at the time. And I'm like, whatever I look like now, it'll always look cool. I'm going to show that to my kids and they'll be like, wow, Dad, you look so cool.
Yeah, but the thing is like the headbands weren't even cool. I was just being a weirdo fucking wearing this. I was like literally the only one.
Did you have a variety of headbands?
Yeah, I even like would Sharpie on some, and so they like it literally be like the size of this, and I'd have my hair fucking poking through, and I would write things. I'd put like fucking ERHS water polo or something. It was bad, dude. It was not a good look.
At least you didn't wear the Naruto headbands.
I didn't do that.
That's true. There are people out there that have pictures of that.
But here's where my friend one day, my buddy Chris was like, yo, you gotta watch this show Naruto. And I was like, no, I don't like watch like animes. Like the last anime I'd ever watched like back in the day was probably like Gundam Wing or fucking like Sailor Moon, like when I was a fucking wee beastie. And he's like, no, dude, you gotta watch Naruto. It's like really, really good. And I was like, okay, well, I don't fuck with subtitles. Like I don't like reading. If I'm watching TV, I don't want to fucking read it. And so he's like, oh, no, there's like dubbed versions. I was like, okay, cool. So he made me watch one episode and I was like, all right, like first episode, like it's cool, I guess. And then for like 2 months, I fucking just binged watched like 180 episodes. And I got like pretty into it. And so like to those dudes' credits, like it's a good show.
Oh yeah,
I won't knock it. The show's great.
Yeah, but like
I just think any very like specific fashion thing from just like media like that, like it's not gonna with you.
It's not even like listen, I like some shows and I'll like buy a t-shirt. Like I would buy like a t-shirt that has like a Dragon Ball logo on it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't wear like the gi from Dragon Ball. Like I wouldn't cosplay every day, which I feel like is what you do.
So you're not doing the Naruto run up and down the stage?
Not doing the Naruto run.
Have you seen that person around the valley? I think I've pointed him out. I've been in a car with one of you guys and seen him. It's this dude that I see that he walks around my neighborhood, and then one time I saw him walking around your guys' neighborhood, and he wears an entire full-on Attack on Titan outfit. I don't know what you call like their uniform, but he wears the entire thing, like the boots and everything, and he just walks around, and like I see him around the valley all the time.
He's fucking patrolling. He's waiting for him to come. He's doing his rounds. Don't fucking knock the kid.
Yeah. You notice
you're going to regret it one day when he takes a break and he's not there.
Yeah, when the Titans come.
Yeah, we haven't
they
seen
already
anything.
came.
That motherfucker's doing his job.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Protect and serve.
He committed,
Committed. An essential worker in my book.
He's like the Incredible Hulk. He's never going to have any friends because his job is too serious,
I think the Incredible Hulk had other problems other than his
I know.
This science is just too serious. You guys can't understand.
you know, I don't think you guys are taking this serious. You know, we got to move on. This is a hot topic here, and you guys are just blowing him off like he's not a saint doing us all justice here.
When are we going to get sponsored by Hot Topic?
I just said I saw him. I would love to get sponsored by Hot Topic. Let's do it.
Oh, dude, Hot Topic has gone under though compared to like what it was.
But here's the thing, though. Hot Topic has like really good collectibles, in my opinion.
What do you collect from Hot Topic?
No, like they have like all the Funko Pops. You know what I mean?
No,
dude.
Hot Topic went under, and now they got Box Lunch. Box Lunch is the new place that has all that shit.
I've never.
Is Hot Topic actually not around anymore?
No, they're still around.
Still there, but at the Northridge Mall, I've been there, and like Box Lunch is the new Hot Topic, except where it's not like dark stuff. It's just like. It's like you go there and it's just a bunch of like Game of Thrones stuff or like
pop culture
Stranger Things stuff. Yeah, it's like you can get like a Stranger Things like jacket.
See, I think that's smart because at least me and all my friends, like we would go to Hot Topic, but like we would only go to the section with all like the fun, pop culture stuff. Like you want to get like a little Pokemon doll or something.
I mean, if you weren't scared to walk into a Hot Topic as a kid, then
Dude,
it wasn't a good Hot Topic.
I was just about to say that.
Like as like a little kid, like
and you were like, "That's the scary store," and then all the people with like the fucking mohawks and whatever. It was just like
when I was a little kid, I went in there and saw like spiked belts and shit, and I was like, "No,
yeah." My parents always took me to like fucking like PacSun or Tilly's or something, and then as soon as I got older, it was like, I think I'm gonna go into Hot Topic. Like I'm old enough, like I could do it.
I can do this.
Yeah. And then I just never did buy anything.
I remember like when I was like probably like 5th grade is right when like all the scene, like the scene kid thing was really fucking taking off for the high schoolers. So like all of the guys and girls had like that fucking like long black hair that covered like their whole fucking face and like half of it was colored. And I just remember being like, who are these people?
These are a different breed. I was not prepared for this.
Like, how do you become one of these?
Wow.
It's crazy because like I was in high school when the scene phase hit. It was like 8th grade freshman year for me. But I was still so like secluded and young. Again, like with where I grew up, like there was that group of kids, but it was never like mainstream enough to where it like hit me. Like I was still fucking listening to like Kiss FM and shit. Like I didn't know any better. And then like if I ever like went to my dad's house or something, he was with buddies, they'd be like K-Rock, and I'd be like, oh, what's this? But I was so fucking sheltered as a child.
Yeah,
I miss out. I wish I was a scene kid. That would have been fun.
No, you don't.
No.
Think about how bad you feel wearing those headbands. Imagine if your whole outfit was like headband level embarrassing. That's what the scene kids look like.
Yeah,
but they were doing it. They were in it though. They went full force. Like a headband, it was like, that's like level 1 scene kid. If I was gonna do it, I should have gone fucking all out.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like they tag on, you gotta go all the way or not at all.
Yeah,
like you gotta just commit.
Yeah.
Did you guys have a kid at your school? I feel like every high school had one. The kilt kid, the kid who was like, "I'm wearing a fucking kilt every day."
No.
I went to your school, and I don't know.
Yeah. we had one. We had one, dude. I remember this. He was in theater, and he would just always wear.
They're always there. Yeah, it's always
the kilt kid at every school.
He had a dyed green mohawk, and he was in theater, and he wore a fucking kilt.
You know, his parents were diehard Irishmen.
Dude, it was the lamest shit because there was like some conservative person speaking at like the Civic Arts Plaza, and he decided to protest by wearing the fucking V for Vendetta mask and like running down the aisle. And you're like, that's the most fucking cliche way to fucking protest.
And now he's wearing Attack on Titan gear patrolling this
yeah, just like
he's grown out of it. He saw what he did and he's changing his mistakes.
He's a real man now.
He's grown stronger.
The dumbest thing about that protest, he still wore the fucking kilt, so everyone knew who it fucking was.
It was more of a message.
Too. I don't think there's any hiding.
No, he wore like a hoodie with the mask, and so you're like, okay, and then still the fucking kilt. Like,
we had a fedora, 1 or 2 fedora kids. There's always one of those.
And they're always like overweight and they wear cargo shorts and the fedora? Because that's what we had at my school.
That's like what is the guy? The YouTube guy. Oh, do you guys
Wears
know?
a fedora?
Yeah, he wears a fedora, and he's
Are you talking about the dude that blends Doritos and Mountain Dew into a blender?
No. They're at like Comic-Con or something. And he talks all funny. What does he say? What's the fucking thing?
I don't know. Side note: I hope we can fit in talking about Shoe Nice for at least like a cool minute in this podcast.
I never was exposed to him as a kid until like Vice put out a
Neither
documentary.
were I. I think
this?
truly like we really just started getting into Shoe Nice kind of recently. I never had like a moment of really Shoe Nice.
I'm sorry.
Nice?
Yeah, who is
So is he
this
still
guy?
doing it? Is he still
Oh,
alive?
he's still at it.
Okay,
Shoe Nice
can
is
someone
still going
give
hard.
me
Okay,
and
so
anyone
Shoe Nice
listening
is
to
this
this
man.
who this is?
We've shown you Shoe Nice. Shoe Nice is the guy that will eat anything and take like giant handles of vodka and like stick it in his mouth and like
he's like
no
the
hands
big
like
dude, the
chug
big
it.
dude.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Like shaved head.
Yeah.
Is he the guy who did the like 5 boots of Gatorade?
No,
that's
no.
Badlands Chugs.
Badlands. No, and this is going to be a really weird sentence, but Shoe Nice settled down over the years, and now he just chugs like soap or something. It's really lame.
Yeah, he used to like a Party 151. The only thing he wouldn't do was like ketchup. Like he'd throw up if he tried to have
He'll
ketchup.
fucking drink 3 handles of tequila or some shit and be like,
Oh,
but I don't fuck with ketchup.
Proves my point. Ketchup is horrible.
Shoe Nice did this thing where he took
Yeah, it's true.
what was it? A pine cone and poured hot wax on it and just started eating pine cones on video.
Horrible.
He's a
That is
monster.
horrible. I need to charge my computer. I'm
The guy
sorry.
probably shits blood. There's no way that comes out a
or
nice.
just doesn't shit.
I don't know. He's crazy.
Wow.
He's crazy. He's a speed runner. Honestly, you time him for how quickly he can.
He's speed
Chug
running
all-
life.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's speedrunning.
Well, he fucking failed at it. Holy shit, he's still around, man.
I remember I saw like a Vice documentary. I was like, who is this? Because I didn't understand what they were saying. Shoe Nice, and I was like, what do they actually try? Like, what is he saying? I didn't like fucking comprehend my brain that they were
Yeah.
saying Shoe Nice. I was like, Shanice or something. I was like, who? Like, are they saying it weird? And they're like, no. And then they put the title. I was like, Shoe Nice. All right. No, I used to watch FPS Russia.
Yeah,
dude.
That
I
guy
watched
was a
that.
fucking baller.
who honestly, like, truly, no idea that he was Russian until so much later in my life. I was like, wow, this dude's Russian. And so, like, when he was shooting all these, like, crazy guns, I was like, I guess you're allowed to do that in Russia.
Yeah.
That fool went to prison recently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
because
he
I
really?
looked him up
Wow.
the other day. And I was like trying to find videos. I was like, oh, like because Call of Duty came out, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, oh fuck, remember that fool? So I went on YouTube, and like the last video was like 4 years ago or something.
Yeah, he
So
has all these podcasts of him like going through like what he did in prison to like survive and stuff. Because I think he only went to prison for 3 months,
For what
which
though?
was just like okay. So
why did he go to prison?
So they tried getting him for all the guns, but he got all of those like legally and stuff. What had happened was they got him from being like, do you smoke weed? And then they were like, have you ever like passed your weed to someone? So he's like dealing weed by hanging out with his group of friends and passing a joint over to one of his friends. He went to prison for 3 months. And I guess like it was pretty sketchy because all the other prisoners were like, this dude's not
He's not like a
Not
thug.
a criminal.
Yeah.
No, they were thinking that he was like a rat, like he got put in there because they were like, we've never met a dude that gets put in here for just 3 months and then it's gonna get out. So they thought
he was like a
was
narc or
granted.
some shit. Yeah,
Yeah, crazy. What a life that man lives.
he was. Gosh, he was a Russian if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, he might not have been Russian like by nationality, but he was Russian in spirit.
Yeah, he
you
was
know?
more Russian than any Russian I've met. He was the only like YouTuber. Like I'm thinking of like YouTube culture as a kid growing up. Like that was probably the
watched-
only
It was
YouTuber.
different.
I watched, I'm embarrassed about this, but I used to watch Shane Dawson a lot.
Whoa.
I don't know who that is.
In like 6th grade. He's he's a problematic YouTuber.
Okay.
And wasn't funny, but I was like 12 and I was like, ha ha ha, you can be funny on the internet. And yeah, whatever.
Were you guys ever
He's,
into the prankers? I couldn't stand.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't stand.
No, I was down for it.
Really?
I was all down for it. Seeing people in like a shower getting like lit up by a paintball gun, and they're like prank. Like my young ADHD mind was like, yes.
And we'll see stuff like that's like okay, because that's like a Jackass or something. Like that's fucking great.
Oh, you mean the dude?
The fake one's like, I'm throwing a frisbee. Oh wait, now I'm throwing a fucking real plate. Oh no!
Oh, I thought you were talking about the big one where it was like dudes running up to fools on the street and like pushing them, and then when they're getting like their shit kicked in, they're like, "It was a prank! It was a prank!"
Oh yeah, I mean those are all right. The beginning phases of prank culture were cool because that shit was just real. Like they were either gonna get their ass beat, or someone was gonna make like a weird look or something.
It was real reality TV.
Yeah,
for once.
that was
They got really into like fake pranks for a while though, because I remember we went to like Venice one time, and there was like a YouTuber, I didn't know him, but like he was filming a prank video, and the like prank was just that he wore really tight yoga pants and like tried to trick people into thinking he was a girl, but he was like getting people like off the boardwalk to like just pretend basically.
Hey, can you pretend my ass looks good here?
Yeah.
And then I'll give you $20. Yeah,
exactly. It's like it's not.
Wow.
Can't stand.
Sounds like he's hustling, is what you're telling me. Sounds like he's a good businessman.
I mean, watch. He probably makes $200-$400 off the YouTube video. He hands out maybe $100 worth of 20s just to get some good reactions.
I'm sure he makes probably more than that. Like those prank videos, if they go viral, you're probably looking at like a couple $1,000, dude.
Millions. You're making millions.
We are in the wrong industry, boys. Here's what we do: you drop
Twitch.
the band, I drop my career. We go out, we film prank videos.
Dude, you didn't know Sad Park is a prank. It's
Yeah,
we're not a band. That's the joke.
Oh, wow.
Right, April Fools.
Whenever people come out to shows, they listen to your music. You're like, you fucking idiot. We're not even real.
Yeah,
It
you
was
were
all
saying
fucking
you
joke.
were saying we were the best band that night. That's because it was all pre-recorded. We're not actually even playing our music.
Psych, you
We're
guys
just
got
sitting
me.
up there, just
Yeah. Fucking like Chuck E. Cheese band up there.
Exactly.
That's
Did you
good.
guys ever watch Machinima? I was super into Machinima when I was in like middle school. Do you guys know what that is? Did you ever watch that?
do.
Wait, that sounds familiar.
I was into it. Machinima was that YouTube channel that like sponsored all the gamers.
Oh, yeah.
It's like where you would make like comedy videos, but like the characters were like in a video game basically. I was super into that, like Red versus Blue, RB and the Chief.
See, I would never got into Halo. I was a Call of Duty kid.
Oh, there you go. That was the big debate, dude. Halo 3 or Call of Duty 4. That was it.
Were you Xbox or PS4 though? Or PS3
right now?
at the time, PS2, whatever.
I mean, I've been a PlayStation boy, except for the Xbox 360, if I can be totally honest.
Xbox 360 was
I was never in that world of Halo or Call of Duty. I was skate better than World of Warcraft. That's what I was doing.
You like
There were no. There were just all these like debates. Did you just say you wish you could have World of Warcraft? Because I got you.
I wish I got into it late. It's funny because I remember growing up as a kid, and two of my older cousins who like exposed me to like video games very young.
Yeah.
They were super into it, and they were playing like EverQuest back in the day, which was like super OG. And then World of Warcraft came out, and they both were playing it heavily. And I just never had like a computer or any type of like shit that could even run that. And I was like out skateboarding and shit. So I didn't really care. I still play video games. But then as I grew older, one of my cousins who like played it got hired for Blizzard and became like a game master or whatever in game.
Whoa, that's fucking dope.
And so it was like Christmas one year, and he like moved out because he lives in Texas now, like working for Blizzard. And he flew out one year for Christmas. And he's like, oh, like, what are you playing nowadays? It was like always a conversation we had. I was like, oh, like I got a PC now. I play a lot of like League of Legends and then like Call of Duty if they still have them. And I was like, just things here and there. He's like, well, you play WoW? And I was like, I can't afford that shit. And he like pulls out his wallet and he hands me a 1 year fucking like membership thing.
Way.
He's like, here, like, but if you don't use it, like, you like give it to someone. He's like, because it'll just go to waste. And I was like, oh, for sure. And then he got me a code for like Legion or whatever at the time. That was like the one that came out. And so I downloaded it for free. And then I used my 1 year code that I had saved probably for like 3 or 4 years. I just never used it. And then I was like, I want to fucking play World of Warcraft. And then I was into it. I liked it. But,
yeah, that was a great
and then
game.
it just ended. I was like, okay, fuck it. But I wish I was heavily into it. It was a cool game. That's it.
Yeah.
But that's like a life in its own, though.
Oh my god, you can't. I think it's difficult to be like successful as an artist because it creates. You need to do it so much.
Yeah,
Be,
yeah.
As a band, you can't be super into like one video game that it's your whole life.
Yeah. True. I mean, so
Sam, have you ever played a video game, Sam?
I'm probably about 0% gamer.
You played a little bit of Rocket League when we lived with Mikey.
That's
about
true.
it.
With our old roommate. That's true.
and what were your
Because
thoughts? What were your feelings?
that shit's tight. It was pretty
Okay,
tight.
we're making
Pretty
progress.
fun.
We're gonna make you a gamer, Sam.
I feel like Sam, you're always really impressed by video games. Like if we're playing something new, you're like, that shit
Oh my
looks
God,
fucking
I
dope.
know what you're gonna
And
say.
you're just like, nah, not really for me though. I'm not gonna play it.
Yeah, you'll kind of like watch a little bit.
Yeah. Well, no, you were.
I'll soak it in. I'll
can
embrace the creation, the technology.
You can count like those Jackbox games as games. You really liked to like push the button when we were all playing and like screaming at each other. That game where you play as like an
Fuck that.
alien. You're playing an alien on a ship, and all of us are on our phones.
It's more like a
Oh,
board
those
game.
phone games are fun as fuck.
That was tight. That was tight.
we were playing that, and like there'd be like 8 of us in a room, and by the end of it, like me and Sam are like, everyone chills out at first, like we're all on the couch, we're all like, oh, like yeah, like this is fun, and then seriously, by the end of it, it's like everybody's standing up, everyone's pointing fingers and just screaming at each other. It's so fun.
That's me. I remember like when I was in high school, like the only thing to do like when you would go on to like take a girl on a date or whatever was like you go fucking mini golfing. You go to the movies or you go to
Yeah.
mini golf. And mini golf was always like semi cheaper than movies. And so I was like, cool. But I hated going to mini golf because I was so fucking competitive. And so if the girl I took on a date like slowly like started beating me, I'd get like low key fucking pissed. And it would ruin the mood.
Let's just go home.
Yeah.
Let's just go home. I'm
Not
just dropping
talking
you
ever
off.
again, dude.
So I was like, I can't go on dates to fucking mini golf because I just fucking rage out. I'm too
Oh
competitive.
my God.
Good times though.
That seems fun. Could you imagine going on a date with someone that you really like and then just start freaking out on you?
I
They're
couldn't
just like,
imagine
"Yeah,
going on a
having too
date
fun."
nowadays, period.
And you're just like, no, I already got a triple bogey. I'm fucking this game up.
I would just be like, are you going to count that?
Goddamn windmill.
That's a stroke. You going to count it? Add it on. Give me the card. I'm looking
Throwing
at
your
it.
Fucking club. Are you cheating?
Yeah.
I saw your elbows move. That's a stroke.
That's a
Count it.
stroke.
Yeah, you start getting on her too. You're
Yeah.
just like, oh, you tapped it. That's it.
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you guys. It would get slowly to that point, and it's just, I knew it. Like, by the second time I'd gone mini golfing with, like, a girl on a date, I was like, can't do
do
it.
this.
It's done.
That's so funny.
And then bowling was another one. Like, bowling, I wouldn't be as competitive with the other people, but it was more so just, like, self-disappointment because I was never, ever really good at bowling. And so then I would
Yeah,
just
but-
get fucking moody and emo and be like, fuck this shit. I'm over it.
You don't want to be good at bowling. I feel like bowling over 100 is the best. Like if you can score like a 101 at bowling, it's like sweet. I'm not horrible. I'm
Yeah.
in the triple digits. But if you're getting like a 160, that's embarrassing. Like you're too good at bowling. You know
I
what I
think
mean?
Yeah.
that's like the numbers me and Sam were coming up with when we went bowling for fun that one time. And then turns out me and Sam are actually pretty fucking good at bowling.
You guys got like into the 160 range.
Yeah, we were-
the turning point isn't your score. It's when you start doing the fucking
The spin. Yeah.
That's the turning point. If you can be good as fuck, just like throwing a ball just right down the middle, then you're just
normal,
throwing
yeah.
a ball real fast. But if you're curving, that's the turning
See,
point. That's how you
I have
know.
a funny story about that because when I was tour managing for a bit a couple years ago, and we went out and we lived in Ibiza because we were doing a Europe run. And we were bored. We had like 2 days off one day, and because we were just flying date to show to show to show to show to show. And so there was like a bowling alley. He's like, let's go bowling. I was like, fuck it. So we go bowling, and we probably played like 4 games. He like bought 4 games for everyone. I was like, dude, 4 games is kind of a lot of bowling, you know?
Yeah, it's a
He's like,
lot.
well, we got nothing else to
it's
do.
It's tough to get through 2, I feel like, most of the
Exactly. And so the first one I'm bowling, and I'm doing pretty good because I'm just bowling straight down the lane.
Yeah.
And then he looks at me, he's like, you can't do that anymore. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, no, you got to curve it. I was like, well, I don't know how to fucking curve it. He's like, well, you got 3 more games, and for every game from now on, you're not allowed to bowl it straight. You have to curve it. And so I spent 3 games after that just trying to figure out how to curve the ball, and it just ended up being more fun because it was way more challenging. And so now every time I go bowling, I fucking do the curve because it's just natural for me. And then every time I go up for my first bowl, people go look at me and go, oh, you're one of those guys, huh, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Yeah, the guy used to bowl in Ibiza, you know?
Yeah.
That's how they do it.
Back in my day, I picked up a couple skills over in Europe. Yeah, so I'm a curvy guy now. I suggest it.
Respect.
We gotta do, Sam. That's what we gotta do next time. You and I gotta go against each other and only curves.
Square up in the lanes.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, let's do it.
I'll be right back, boys. Continue. I gotta get my
Go for it.
Sam, there was someone's birthday in our group that had it was like their 21st birthday or something, and then we went to the bowling alley in Simi. Do you remember? Was that yours?
Yeah, and the story about that is that bowling alley was the first place I ever used my fake ID when I was 18. Got a beer. And then I went there for my 21st birthday because I thought they sold big pitchers of beer, which they didn't. So that was disappointing. But I went there to go to the bar on my 21st birthday, and it was the same bartender that I had when I first bought a beer.
Shit.
And so it came full fucking circle.
And he recognized you. He was like, I know your fucking face.
I just remember because I was 20 at the time. I wasn't 21 yet, but I was still drinking beer. They were just super lax at that fucking bowling alley.
It was the shit, man.
Yeah, that place was fun. That was the last time I've been inside a bowling alley.
That's the most.
Wow, dude, that's almost.
What? No
You're
way.
overdue. You're overdue for an alley
A
set.
little over 3 years ago.
You never went with us the recent times when we
I've been
went?
fucking busy, dude.
Weird. Yeah. Psh, who knew?
Mr. Cool Guy. I want to see it. I want to see a curve off.
Let's do it.
Not me. I'm straight and narrow, son. Right down the middle.
Strain, purebred.
Corn-fed bowling.
Corn-fed bowling. All right.
Right down the middle. No, none of this pussy liberal curving the ball.
Curving shit. Back in my day, we used to roll it straight and true.
I'll bowl Ohio style. That's where you you don't even underhand. That's fucking lame, dude. It's
Kyle, you missed the horrible sentence just now.
if you don't dent the floor when you're bowling, you're not fucking doing it.
I have seen a couple people that chuck it and it's the worst. It's the worst.
I've seen it. People that I know, not going to drop names, but I've seen fucking horrible denting shit and throwing it up in the air and watching it just. Oh, God.
How about the people that bowl and then try and bowl another one before the thing closes?
No, that's what I'm. Okay, so without saying his name, our old bass player, we went bowling with him one time.
I lied. I went with you guys. I remember that.
Yeah, we went bowling with him one time, and he kept trying to do this thing. I think he did 2 things where he tried getting it in the gutter and having it bounce out, but when he did that, it went to the side and into the other lane that the people were playing in. And then the second one was he threw a ball and then he immediately grabbed another ball, threw it, but didn't time it out at all, and the thing came down and he just rammed into it.
Yeah.
It was so fucking embarrassing,
and it was
so loud.
Oh yeah, no, people the sound. If it's not a bowling sound, you just hear a and everyone in the room's just like, what just happened?
I remember that. That was fucking stupid.
That's fun. Bowling's a fun time. I enjoy it. Well, gosh, guys, we're rolling up on time here, so thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. I do want to see a bowl off one of these days. We'll have to go throw some curvies out there one of these days.
All in. I'm totally down for that.
Remember I whooped your butt at Wii Bowling?
Dude,
you can't beat me at Wii Bowling. I know Wii Bowling.
I'm telling you right now, I will destroy you at Wii Bowling.
No.
I'm a monster.
I spent one whole summer of high school with my buddy Chris, eating chips and salsa every day, staying up till 4 a.m., playing Wii boxing, Wii bowling, Wii tennis, and I know every trick I am the god of Wii Sports.
Dude, at our
That
next
sounds
show, we need to find like a blank wall and put a projector and have people just play like.
Can we make that our new gimmick? We're the Wii Sports band.
Yeah, dude, I'm all in.
Tape a Wiimote to the back of our guitars.
There you go.
Oh,
Have it
and
in the
while we're
background, your
playing, we're
visuals.
Play.
Yeah.
In between every song, me and Sam just start playing the Me Channel theme, and we just make people play like tennis.
That would be fucking. I mean, I would pay for that. I would pay for that easily.
Oh
See,
my
now you guys
God.
are innovating. See, look we're making progress here. You went from prank band to now Wii Sports band.
I think we need to have a dude at all of our shows who's a professional like Mario 64 speedrunner that while we're playing he's just fucking
would
doing all
actually
the
be tight.
crazy. Dude, that would be dope. That would be so cool if all of our images in the back are just speedrunning videos.
It's like some people have like live art, like someone painting really quick in the background. We just have someone like really good at speedrunning.
We just have someone that's incredible at speedrunning.
That'd be great. I'm in it. I
Done.
mean, I want to see. You guys should just do your own speed run, and then whoever has the fastest one has to put theirs up.
Is
It'll
it
be
me
Sam.
slowly playing a game for 8 hours?
It's me just enjoying it.
Yeah.
That's great. All right, guys. Well, to wrap it up here, I mean, once again, thanks for coming out. Appreciate it. Let everyone know kind of what's coming up. Obviously, the single's out now. That's
Yes.
on all platforms, correct?
Yes.
And then a new album dropping. Maybe let people know where they can check you guys out and stay in touch.
If you want to check us out, we're on basically everything. You can follow us on Instagram or just listen to our music on Spotify or Apple Music or iTunes. And we have a YouTube page now, so we'll be putting
that's
stuff
true.
on that YouTube page now.
Sweet. Well, thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you, Sad Park. And
Thank you, man.
everyone have a great day.
Thank you.
You too, dude.
Thanks again for tuning in. As always, don't forget to check out and join the Rage Brigade Discord server for all the updates on new music, live streams, contests and giveaways, and of course, new podcasts. Stay wild, Rage Brigade.